Hey guys, I wanted to go over the Forex trade we did this morning. And yesterday I had some questions about kind of scalping around the 1 minute. So let's see. Um, so this is pound yen. What I want to show you is how I started this trade. And when you get your trading to a certain level, sometimes when you stop out, you don't just stop and end your trade there. You got to flip and get long. So a trader to be able to flip and then take the other side and know when you're on the wrong side, that's a pretty high level thing. So that's kind of what you want to shoot for in your trading. You don't get stopped out, you don't get afraid of re-entering, you don't get down on yourself, you don't look at the market and figure out what you did wrong. um, you're just on the wrong side, you flip, whether you're on the wrong side of the trend or whether you're on the wrong side of the cycle. So I'm trying to scan back here to this morning. I don't know if it's going to stay on this or if it's going to keep auto scrolling. I might have to just hold it. I don't know. This should be an auto scroll. Alright, we might have to come back to this side. This is the 1 minute pound yen. So here on the 15 minutes, it's kind of hard to see the price action. I don't really want you to focus on that. What I want you to see is that I started this trade short right here around 6:15, 6:30, and you can see that right here was this candle, or not this candle, but this arrow designates my short. Okay. The thing that I didn't really like about it was that you can see that pi is kind of rising. Shoot, that's annoying, huh, guys? I'm trying to hold it too. Pi was rising. Okay. So I was trying to play a little bit contrarian. I knew that I was aware that this was in an uptrend. The cycle was, price was in the northern hemisphere. It was above 200. It was above pi. All right. I'm going to keep moving this around so it doesn't flip back on me. But um, the reason I flipped was that, I got a little bit back here and then there's really nothing to speak of. But then when we bounced back up, I actually sold another piece here. Okay. All smaller pieces because the trend wasn't with me. The 5 minute was still going this way overall. Okay, we were making higher lows here, making higher lows here, making higher lows here. But I was playing the 15-minute cycle, which is where I try to start the majority of my trades and stay within the chunks of that cycle on the 15-minute. All right, so here at 6:30, they cross back over. No, what time is this? 6:30, and then the market crossed again at 7. All right, so right here at 7, I sold a piece, and then when that actually crossed, the cycle turned back up. I stopped right here for 7 pip loss. Okay, and then you see that it's pointing back to my losses here in red, and then the green shows you where I flipped and went long. So I immediately stopped and then flipped and got long. Okay, and I felt much more comfortable because now the cycle was up at about 7:15. Okay, you had a rising 8, right here. This is my entry. The 8's rising. I don't have a 5-minute chart up, but if you were to look at the 5-minute, that was bullish. You can see pi is bullish, it's rising, the 200 rising. So I felt much better when we were in this, when I was long here. All right, guys, and then you can see this was a good trade. So I was in here around underneath 134, and the market rallied all the way up. I rode this all the way, basically got out right here, and I scalped it around a little bit at the end of the day, but took the majority of my position off here and these 3 chunks right here. Boom, boom, boom. So that was 134.75-ish, not quite. 134.68. So my last sale was 134.68. I was in underneath 134, so a little bit of 70 pips. And well, what I also wanted to point out to you guys is, so I use the 15-minute cycle to determine when I want to kind of get in and get out. And then you can see here around 8:15, the cycle crossed. All right, so I took a big chunk off around then, up here into these highs, 8:15. All right, and then I got back in here, and the cycle crossed again at 9:30, right there. You can see it crossed back up. So I got back in. So between here and here, I'm just waiting for this cycle to play out. Because why give back all your gains? It's better to just take 80% of it and you could trail the last piece, or just take the entire thing when the cycle crosses. Alright, this is me chopping around at lunch, small size, doing nothing. Thought the 15-minute might roll back over, but this was, I mean, it was a matter of $50, $100, $50, $100. It just wasn't doing anything. The majority of this move was right here. Alright, so guys, these sales out of my long, basically into the highs, right? There's the high of the move. This you ran all the stops from the highs from yesterday or a couple days before. Alright, so sold into that high. We always take profits on new highs. Boom, new highs, boom, new highs, boom. So that time frame is all around 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And that's when we were pretty high within the cycle again. So I was taking advantage of that, and then look right there, 10, 10:15, the cycle was back down, so I was gone. Right? So then I don't really sit through all this mess. Okay? So guys, so I wait for the cycle, for the timing piece, and then I want to stay within the trend. And if I do play contrarian, like I started my trade this morning, I've got to be aware that I'm going against the trend, play it small, and then if the cycle flips back positive and you're with the trend, you just stop and get long. I just realized that, why was I fighting this? Now that the cycle changed, that didn't make any sense. So instead of fighting this move and taking a loss on the day, this was a nice trade. I mean, this is also, I'll show you here. So when I put some size on here, I'll trade a smaller piece around on the 1 minute. So it comes back up, you sell 50 or 100. That's why there's so many trades, is that I'm scalping around on the 1 minute cycle within the core position of my 5 minute day trade, my 5 minute micro position, selling, buying, selling, taking more of my core position off. Okay, selling, put a scalp piece back on, took that off, took off more of my core. All right, so that's how you work your position. This is what I call adding and reducing. I'll do another video on that, and I'll probably even shoot a small course that I'll make available to purchase, called adding and reducing. But this is how you compound your gains, guys, and you get much higher risk reward. Okay, you start here, you risk a few candles, and you make tens, if not hundreds, of candles. All right. So I had some questions on that. I wanted to show you guys that. I'll try to do some more videos on Forex. Maybe we can do some stuff live. All right. So I'll wrap that up there with that, and then I'll do another video on the overall global macro market here. I'll be right back at you.